that poor assembler is going to be like, why do I have to do these things? You know, I wish I had a good reason for you, but right now all I have is this. So, have at it. And then Bokig needs its stuff. So I'm going to switch that on. Use that to collect stuff. And switch that over to being my white science production platform. Then on this one, I'm gonna go and look into my parts for tlcoffee. Wants 580 of the belts, so I can knock those off as something that I need to request at all. So that's a high priority for me at this time, because that's 5 of those. So we'll do 1,000. Because I noticed it also needs like 4 rocket launches worth of underground belts too. And then yeah, do 100 pipes, 50 undergrounds, and then 2 storage tanks as I go. Because that's all up in space, I can run that up here. There's no reason to launch rockets for it unless I really have to. That'll fill up those bottom ones while I wait for the foundation to come in. Gleb is still going to take a couple of hours to set up all the basics, so that's one of those ones where you just kind of sit back and say, why not? And then I know I'll need 15 enhanced furnaces. General. Or novice main. Rare. I have 10. Oh, that's rough. So on the pin builders, which are quality, those also need to be number 2s. And I did 40 of those, and then 200 of those productivity modules there. Don't necessarily need that. Oh, I'm gonna have to clean this up, I can tell. Because that's got crossed wires for whatever reason. It's never constructed properly, it looks like. Try again. Because, yeah, this one counted up to 40 and then abandoned its job, which is what it's supposed to do. But if you have a bunch of crossed wires like that, that's not going to do that. So let's see what this one's at. 97 out of 200. Thanks, but no thanks. And I'll have to double check and see whether or not crossed wires are the overall issue. I'm pretty sure they are, because this looks like it's plugged into 3 different things instead of 1. Yeah. That's plugged in too many times, so it didn't get deconstructed and reconstructed properly. Might even be the old build. So what do I have for furnaces now? That's the big question. 237. $96. Okay, so those are going to be used for ground side burns in this style, because it takes 12. So 6 times 12 is 72. That's an entire lane of iron and steel being added up here. And then being put down here. If I do 6 of those over at this location. And then at some other time, I can satisfy myself with a normal one. And it wants train cars, so those are always in short supply, it seems. And take quality out of this, so I don't get any weird train cars. One of the things I wanted to check. Did I remember my interrupts? Of course not. On a case-by-case basis only. Alright. Now I do have them. Um, thanks. Adventures in train management. It wants more. So, it's what I'm gonna do. Which means those lines have to be beefed up to match too. So. These problems I have, they are some impressive problems. Plug that in. Shrug my shoulders, save my game. Take a stretch. Take a think and feel. Alright. Coming back from that break. So what I did on my little break is I immediately went in here, looked at these prices, and thought very carefully about what I need to be doing next. I think I need to jump on these researches as fast as possible. Specifically this one, because we're going for Captain Spidertron over here. Then the follow-up's going to be the physical projectile research and weapon shooting speed research over the next couple of hours, because this ends a line. And this starts up another brand of infinite research where if I feel like I'm not getting enough space parts, I can look over at the space part machine and be like, get on it, buddy. So that's part of the planning. After that, I might do bot speed if I can get away with it, because this would multiply my robot speed by 45%, and then 55%, and then 65%, which would be huge. And then going even a step further, like that would be a huge investment in success, with little logistics things being taken care of as I move forward. Getting the final robot cargo size would be big too. So I'm feeling confident that I'm making the right choice on this brand. And also, I can increase the power of my discharge defense. Not at all, because it just applies to a destroyer. I have to go to Fulgora. I think the Factorio devs know how awesome this tool is. Something tells me that somebody has a notion of game balance that's in line with reality. So that's the big news. And that's going to happen over, like, 5 hours. So that's maybe 5,000 research that's getting done at the rate that this stuff's going. Maybe 6. And then hopefully once that time's up, turn around and immediately do asteroid processing as hard as I can, and maybe get 1 ounce of the productivity research done. And I'll use extra steel as a bookend so that I don't go off into the weeds on something. I don't need lab research speed or braking force at this time. Insert or capacity bonus would be really handy. I know, it's bad, but seriously, it is going to be really, really useful. And in the 10 seconds that it took for me to look and be like, is everything working? It's like, nope, broke again. Broke in 2 places. So there's no good fix for this other than to tear it down and reset it. And then put in a filter for any amount of coal that comes down that line, because I'm pretty sure there is going to be some from this mine here. But it's backed up because I've already got a train working this. And I don't really need all that much. So it's just one of those things, really. And on this lubricant train, I need to get this on a timed schedule of time passed, I think, or figure out a way to void all of this stuff appropriately in order to run the lubrication. Which might just be, it's either going to be sulfur production for sulfuric acid, just hauling that down here, or rocket fuel production. But the hard thing is I'm very confident on rocket fuel production. So instead of being useful, it causes an existential crisis. You know. I'm going to use this steel case to make a long-term parts order related to something I'm saving up for. So I need 30 LDS, 40 electric engine units, and 60 processing units. And I feel like it's time to get that started. Just be like, this is the priority, get it done now. 40 and 60. Because that one can actually be upgraded. Come and cry real tears over these ones. 52? Yeah, so some of that's already even done. But it's going to take time to fill in the modules because of how those are. It's something I always think about is like, the maintenance passes on this are the hardest part. And they're the part that people account for. They've got to be the part that people account for the least in their planning. Okay, I'm gonna make sure only that feeds through on that side. Because quality adds just one more thing, and that just one more thing can back up an entire mine. So this has to get handled. And that's killing LDS and processing units both, because the LDS is consuming all of that. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, and is that going to be correct for my purposes? Oh, it needs 7. I actually need to measure with one of these. Be like, that's about 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Don't be like that, Mr. Red Tree. Get out of the way. There we go. I can get 2 more lines through there. That's going to be extremely fast. And the overall feeling is I don't need quality to make this line successful. I need a massive amount of steel this time. If I'm going to put a beacon in, it's going to be right here, and it's going to be environment, because that's still contributing, or it's going to be a full redesign on that section once I fill up plastic to a certain point. So I want to hit that line. I think that's productive enough. So I'll just dump it onto there, and if I need a merge, I'll merge. But this stuff doesn't particularly need to happen fast. And let's see, since LDS is being cut off by a lack of copper, just won't see it, so. Oh, that's not it, though. See, that's part of the reason why I want to do this, is because you realistically do forget about some things. Okay. The blue's coming in on top, because I manipulated it correct. Because, yeah, there's speedrunner rules, and then there's, like, what you really get on a weekend. And all the little animals in between.